Hey everybody, and welcome back. I hope you've had a chance to read Joshua chapter 18, and so now we can go over our outline. Let's try to answer the same questions that we always do. First of all, when did the events of Joshua chapter 18 take place? This would be approximately 1450 BC. The conquest of the Promised Land by the Israelites lasted approximately 5 to 7 years. If you want to look more into the debate or into the dating, there's a lot of debate about it. You can go down the rabbit hole for as many hours as you want to go down. But for this study, we're going to use the date of approximately 1450 BC, and that is a rough date. Okay, our main characters. We've got Joshua. He's the leader of the Israelites. The book's named after him. We've talked about him a lot, both in the book of Joshua and in previous books. He used to be the assistant of Moses before Moses died. We have the tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin, if you remember all the way back in the book of Genesis, Benjamin was the youngest son of Jacob with his favorite wife, Rachel. And so the tribe of Benjamin is his descendants. Now moving to our map, the Israelites move camp in this chapter, we're told, away from Gilgal where they've been, and they set up the tabernacle at Shiloh. You can see Shiloh to the northwest of Gilgal a little ways. Joshua 18 describes the land that's allotted to the tribe of Benjamin. So Benjamin's going to receive their land inheritance in this chapter. We have a map that outlines the general area of their territory over on the next page. All right, let's talk about the sections and break down this chapter now. I've got two sections in this chapter. The first one is the first 10 verses. Joshua divides the land for the 7 remaining tribes. So 7 Israelite tribes had yet to receive their land inheritance in the Promised Land. And Joshua seemed to suggest that the reason that they hadn't gotten their land yet was because they were slow to obey God and to conquer the remaining territory. Maybe they got a little bit lazy after fighting for a while. I don't know, but Joshua, it's definitely a kind of a dig at the Israelites. He says, you guys are slow to follow the commands of the Lord. So he told them to get to it. He told them to send 3 men from each tribe to inspect the remaining land and to write up a description of the remaining land. And then when they were finished, they were supposed to bring the description back to Joshua at Shiloh, and he would divide up the land by casting lots. Verses 11 through 28, then, our second and final section, talk about the land inheritance of the tribe of Benjamin. Verses 11 through 28 describe the borders of the land that Benjamin was going to receive within the Promised Land. And a few notable cities were in the land of Benjamin, even though it was a relatively small area. The cities of Jericho and Jebus, which would later be popularly known as Jerusalem, were in the territory of Benjamin. As we scroll down and look at our map of the divisions of the land between the 12 tribes, we're filling out the map nicely. You'll see Benjamin's land, just a small section there, south of Ephraim and Manasseh's land and north of Judah and the Dead Sea. So that is Joshua chapter 18.